Hi, everyone. My name is Erin Elizabeth Wamberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today we have 7/7, July 7th. So I'm just doing a quick little angel messages reading for you, just a quick 10-minute reading to check in, see, if there's any messages from the other side, just to give you some love and care and help you feel a little bit connected to, what is beyond us. Tomorrow we are being guided, and there is divine timing, there is divine unfolding, there is all of that going on. Okay, I have 4 groups for you today. You can go ahead and pick by the card you can see, the number, group 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever resonates for you. And whenever you're ready, all the timestamps are below, and I will see you at the reading that you chose. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 1. So you'll pick the card work. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. Really beautiful. So I feel like something's going on here with you guys, group 1. Obviously work related. Okay. But this can be, doesn't just have to mean like career something. It could just be, like there's a passion project you want to get into, or you have like a particular skill set that maybe you don't want to monetize, but you want to engage with the community and give back in some way. Okay. So maybe like, you want to volunteer at an after school art program because that's a way you can use your art skills. Just take it how it resonates. But I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Like God gives us so many gifts for a reason, and it's up to us to discern which ones feel like, okay, this is something for like, my career. This is something for creative expression. This is something for, to use my skill set to be involved, to give back in a certain way. So work, again, doesn't just have to mean like a traditional job or, even being an entrepreneur or whatever. Like it doesn't have to just deal with that. It can also deal with like the way you use your skills in the day-to-day world to show up, to offer, again, the talents God has given us, and knowing that, prosperity, of course, can mean financial prosperity, but, when we express all these parts of our soul, and all these gifts we're given, the prosperity of doing that and like the creative expression and the ability to use our gifts like really fills us up. So if you have been thinking like, oh, I have this skill set, but I'm kind of being small, or I'm hiding it, or I don't really, I don't know who's going to really resonate with it, this is a message for you. Just do it. Okay, put yourself out there. It can be scary and intimidating, but the people who are drawn to your work will reflect back to you that this was a good choice and you are putting something valuable into the world. Okay, so I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. It's so beautiful. There's no shortage of, what do I want to say? We need more people to be sharing all their skill set. Okay, there's no shortage of places that people could use more of everyone embodying, the gifts that we have. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards for you, and then I'll pick some oracle cards for you to give you some messages. Good. Okay, so we have Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Moon. Really beautiful. So again, I feel like this is, using this theme of work and tapping into that. This is like you're just now starting to get clear about some boundaries that you have with like the High Priestess and the Moon come out when there's this energy of like, it's like the unknown, the subconscious. So the High Priestess is more of like connecting to the other realm, and then the Moon is more connecting to like the subconscious within yourself and these like hidden things, these unseen things within yourself still. So I feel like this Ace of Swords is just a reminder that like you can set the boundaries around like how you want to access those gifts and how you want to use them in this world. So maybe, for example, like one of the gifts you have, like one of the ways you can work, or a talent you have is, I don't know, something you don't want to do for your 9-to-5 job, right? So this is saying to me that like these gifts you have and these things, this creativities, these things that are going to come out of you, like you don't have to give up something that feels resonant and important and good to you, and you can still do those other things. You can set the boundaries you want to have to connect to these things and still allow those things to be part of your life, to you can let yourself like do all of those things, right? Even if it's just like, like I'm not a full-time tarot reader, but I like to do these on YouTube and I do readings in my life, but it's not something I want to do full-time, right? So you can have the boundaries to put around, like, maybe if you just like writing poetry or writing, like you can just put it on a blog. You don't have to give up or change your 9 to 5 if you don't want to. So this is really saying to me, you can have the boundaries you want to have with these gifts and with yourself and how you want to use them. Maybe some things are just between you and God. Maybe some things are just private. I mean, you get to decide. But what I'm really hearing with this is like, don't be afraid of, like, don't feel like you have to let go of things in your life to open these other gifts. Like you can just if you just like doing something once a month, that's fine. Like if you just like taking this one certain class and doing volunteering once a month at this one thing, do that. It doesn't have to become your whole life. So I'm really saying, like, trust the limits you can set, and you can trust the limits you can set as you continue to tap into and like delve into more and more of these gifts that all of us have inside of us, but sometimes we can be a little fearful of using or letting like like come forward in our life, because we feel like, oh well, how am I going to be everything all at once? I just have to be one thing. It's like, that's not true. You can do the things you want to do, and you can also have the boundaries you want to have to be able to express yourself in ways that feel good to you without giving up. You don't have to you get to decide how much you want to do something. Okay, then we have the guardian angel of youth. As I share my enthusiasm, humor, and sense of fun, I protect and honor my youthful spirit. Oh yeah, so I feel like this is a really nice card. And this is just a reminder that, sometimes when we're thinking about, well, what are my talents, I have to be like the best of the best to do something, or I need to, have mastered the skill and be really good at it. But I think this is really saying, if you have a desire in your heart to do something, then if you just do it with lightheartedness, with humor, like as the older we get, we can be so afraid of trying something new, of doing something new, of like, I don't want to look stupid, I don't want to do this. But this is really saying, take a chance. It's okay if you're there and trying. Like so many people are scared of being a beginner, or scared of trying something new. And this card is just a reminder, that like your youthful spirit is alive as you continue to try to do new things, as you continue to put yourself out there. So if you really feel called to something, that's the message I'm hearing, is just like, let yourself be bad at it. Who cares? Like someone making fun of you or you feeling bad about yourself for trying something new that's very messed up and not helpful. And also there's so many people who would never even push themselves out of their comfort zone for 1 second to try something new. So you don't need to feel bad about that. That's not, that's not, it's not helpful, but, just keep a lighthearted sense and just look at it as like a way to learn and try new things, instead of a way to like punish yourself because you're quote unquote like not good at something yet, right? Okay, then we have the card Portal. Doors are opening, you decide. Rewards, wild card. So again, I feel like there's I'm getting a lot of messages for you in group 1. Like there's a lot of more choice you have in these things in your life than you think. So, again, the first thing I'm hearing is like, you get a portal of like, you get to decide how you do these things in your life and what they feel like, and, how you allow them and do all these things in your life. Like that's definitely happening too. And then also, doors are opening, rewards. Like when you trust yourself to like use these gifts and go out in new places and meet new people and do new things, you have no idea how all these things are just like threads in your life coming together. So the more you put yourself out there, and the more that you let yourself, grow and expand and try something new, and you never know who you're going to meet or what's going to happen or whatever. When you put yourself out there, try something new, do something different, right? So and that can be a portal to another part of you inside of you, to another tool you didn't know you had inside of yourself, to another, it could just be, like you don't know what's going to happen, is what I'm hearing. And we get rewarded when we put ourselves out there, when we get out of our comfort zone, when we do something different. That's not why you should do it, but this is a reminder that there are benefits, and we can grow in ways we never knew just from doing something different, right? You might make a new friend when you do something different. You might like meet someone who knows someone who wants to hire you for something else. Like you don't know, you have no idea how certain paths are going to come together. So you putting yourself out there and doing something different, is going to open doors. And wild card, again, God really connects things for us in ways that we can't do for ourselves. We have your heart knows the way, beautiful. So again, just a reminder that like really trusting like what feels good to you, trusting what feels like, okay, I know, this is a part of myself I want to express and put out in the world. Maybe you want to make a podcast, maybe you want to, I don't know, but your heart knows the way. Just trust that, like, again, these gifts that are in your heart are placed there for a reason, and that you will be able to offer something to the world when you move into that and trust those. And it's just, again, it's fulfilling on some level if you feel called to do that. Okay, and then we'll close with an affirmation. So I give what I want to receive. So really beautiful. So again, I feel like this is, again, like when you put yourself out there, if you want more creative things in your life, right? If you want to connect to that more, if you want to connect to more people who have this particular interest of you, like, are you giving that? Are you putting that out there? Are you giving yourself opportunities to connect with people who do those types of things? So I give what I want to receive. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 2. You all pick the card True Love. Your wholeness and safety lie within, not from a partner. But this sovereignty actually leads to the deepest intimacy for you to stop using others. Let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. So really beautiful. So I feel like if you are in partnership, and this card is a reminder to maybe, this is no judgment. This happens to all of us, right? Like, okay, what ways am I relying on my partner to reflect back this, or this thing to me? Or what ways am I, relying on them to, make me feel whole or make me feel safe? And obviously there is healthy interdependence. There's a way that we are made to rely on each other and to feel safety and support from each other, but you have to use your own discernment to realize when that's getting into like an unhealthy place versus when it's a healthy place. So if you have a partner, that's the message I'm hearing. If you don't have a partner and you're looking for true love to come into your life, this is a sign that it is possible. And just keep, sometimes we can get in that thing of like, oh, where is it? But this is a reminder that if you keep nourishing yourself and honoring your own energy and your own boundaries, and just remember, like, I am whole and complete on my own, and my partner is definitely going to enrich my life. They're definitely going to make my life more amazing and fulfill all of that. But I know I can tap into wholeness and completeness on my own. And like, you want to think about, having this true love just be a bonus, the cherry on top, the addition to your life. So let me stand on my own feet, dear Lord, and know true love. So just trying to, I'm just hearing like, be careful not to get caught up in like the desperate energy, and just be like, how can I focus on like joy and peace and wonderful and beauty and moments of gratitude in my life right now? And that doesn't mean that you like, grow out of this desire to have true love, like absolutely not. But just, how can you focus a little bit more on feeling whole and safe and cultivating that within yourself and between you and God right now? Okay, I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards for you. Group 2. Oh my God. Okay, so we have the 3 of Wands, the Lovers, and the 2 of Wands. I mean, this is so hilarious. I don't know. Can you see this? Okay, so what I'm really hearing about with true love, again, the Lovers here. So clearly this is a message for you, group 2. There's no messing around. It's very clear this is about love, calling in a romantic partner or partners, or, true love in that sense. What I'm really getting with both of these cards of like confusion and contemplation on the other side, not confusion, but like being still and taking a moment to contemplate and like, pausing, looking at what's possible. I feel like you need to have a reevaluation of things in your life. So this could be, again, if you don't have a partner, it could be something of like, well, where am I trying to like play small and pretend like I don't want this, or this thing? Or if you do have a partner, it could be like, okay, where am I, asking this person to be this certain thing for me, to do this certain thing for me, to, fill this hole in my heart, whatever. What I'm hearing is like, as we grow and change, our relationships need to grow and change. It doesn't mean they have to end. Okay. It doesn't mean that, what we want goes away or, whatever. But this, I think I'm just hearing a lot of, this is a time for self-reflection. And this is a time to really think like, okay, how am I like making someone else responsible for my wholeness, for my safety, for my whatever? And again, like, I really believe that romantic love is one of the most amazing things we can experience in this life. And it's really a source of like enjoyment and love and fulfillment. But this, again, I feel like, some self-reflection here around, who do I need to be in relationship? What are my old patterns I want to work through? What are things I want to work through within myself? Sometimes once the person is here, we can get so caught up in like you that we forget to focus on ourselves and like our part of the relationship and what we're contributing, how we're showing up. So again, you can't make this up. So there's a lot of self-reflection here. And just think, and if you're not partnered, you can just think, okay, well, like, how do I want to be? There's a lot of people that say like, oh, well, what's your ideal partner list? And that's fine. Like, those are helpful, but who are you in an ideal partnership? How do you act? What do you care about? What do you put up with? What do you say no to? How are you in your own life so that you can show up to that relationship in a certain way? So this is, I think, a lot of self-reflection here is really being suggested for you guys in group 2 with this, especially around true love and the lovers coming out. I mean, amazing. Okay, we're going to pull some oracle cards for you. We have the angel of the miracle of love. Group 2, love is on your mind. Here we go. Okay, I am brought alive by the miracle of love. So again, I feel like this is, I don't believe in that healthy or the unhealthy negative narrative that like, I don't need anyone and I'm independent and blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, we need that to a certain degree, but the miracle of love is like, we grow on the soul level when we feel love, like from God, from our friendships, from our partner, if you have children. And so like the miracle of love. So I think maybe if you shut yourself off to love, or you feel like, well, I can't make this happen for me, or I don't know, whatever, just, I think one way you can reflect here and like possibly call in different energy or think about what's working for you or not working for you is just, meditate on, I am brought alive by the miracle of love. What comes up for you when you say that? Maybe journal on it. Like, what's your response to that? How does that feel in your body? How does that resonate for you? Really, really clear here, clear messaging for you guys in group 2. Let's see what else we have for you. Okay, then we have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. So again, this is about, it can be for yourself. It could be a new earth within yourself. It could be, you using, maybe you've never like acted a certain way in romantic love before, and you're creating a new earth within yourself to show up with that. I also feel like there's a lot of healthy shifts in humanity happening around what romantic love means, what it can mean for us, what it can do for that. So just remember, like, these very limiting beliefs and these very like old ways of loving that were focused on like fear and control and manipulation, like those don't have to move forward with us anymore. And so if you're feeling like a little bit alone in that, just remember that, keep holding the vision. The new earth is coming. A lot of people on earth want to love in these like expansive ways that probably feel resonant for you if you're still with me at this point watching the reading. But just remembering that, it's happening, you are expanding into love, you are allowing, you are growing, even if it doesn't feel like it. And then we have the card begin again. So again, I feel like it doesn't matter what mistakes you've made, you can always learn from them. You can move forward, you can give yourself time and permission to really, again, like change, to move into true love, to, stop a pattern, to be different, to rewrite it, to do something else in this way. So begin again can just be a reminder that, you don't have to, just because you did something for a certain amount of time in your life or a long time in your life, doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. You can let go, you can begin again, you can try something else. You can, embody some new energy, and you can contemplate and think about, what do I want to let go? What do I want to hold on to? What feels good for me? What feels like I want to let it go? What feels like I want to hold on with it, and just trusting that, and just remembering, you can begin again. Even if again, you are partnered, you can begin again. You can bring new energy to a relationship when you decide that you want to. Okay, and we're going to close with one affirmation card. I create my future today. Okay, so again, this is just a reminder, like with this begin again card, with holding the vision, all of that, like you can be different when you want to be. You can change patterns that aren't working for you when you need to. So I create my future today. Just remember, like it doesn't happen. It's not a big giant shift overnight. It's these small, subtle things that add up. So just remember, every time you choose something different or you act different, it's working, it's adding up, it's helpful, it's good. Okay, so I create my future today. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 3. So you all picked the card Enjoyment. So striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. So yeah, it's a pretty good message for all of us. I feel like it's really easy for us to, because there's so many things, we do get to be informed about so many things that are going on in the world, which is great. But sometimes we can feel a little powerless around that sometimes. And so then we can get really serious of like, okay, well, I have to control this, this, and this because I can't control this other thing, or I'm trying to do this thing, so I need to really focus on this other thing, or I need to make sure that I'm doing this so that this other thing can happen, right? And this is just a reminder that, despite all that stuff that's going on in the world is going to be going on in the world. And that doesn't mean that we don't do anything about it. We don't own our power. We don't try to contribute. We don't try to be better. But this is just a reminder that, just to give yourself permission to enjoy your life while all of that is happening. Okay. There is so much goodness and beauty and enjoyment and lightheartedness, and there's so many things going on at once that just remind us of all that. And so it's important for us to remember that, you can enjoy your life. You can give yourself permission to have a little bit of lightheartedness, have a little bit of freedom, a little bit of joy. Just when it gets really, like this card said, when you're striving and pushing and controlling and wrestling and it has to be like this, when you do all that, like you just make things so much harder for yourself than they need to be. So this is a reminder, just focus on what you can control, try to do things, there is a time to be serious and there is a time to make sure you're focused on that. But I think we as humans, especially the older we get, we tend to be a little more serious and a little less playful and fun. And playfulness and joy and lightheartedness are actually wonderful parts of being alive. Okay, I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards for you. Okay, so we have the Hangman, the 4 of Pentacles, and the Empress. So yeah, so I feel like this really is about lighten up energy. Okay, the Hangman into the 4 of Pentacles. This is really, the Hangman comes out when it's time to stop playing yourself, when it's time to be like, okay, I need to try something different. This way is not working. This thing is not working. This whatever. So the Hangman is really this energy about like, okay, time to give up, time to admit this thing, the way I've been doing it has not been working. So I feel like group 3, you guys have pushed, like it's been a little too stressful. You've been trying a little too hard, been pushing a little too much, you're doing like a little too much. You're pushing a little too hard in a way that doesn't actually serve anyone. So this Hangman energy is about, like, how can you let things go? How can you let something be, like it's time to try something else because it's not working. And going right into the 4 of Pentacles is, I feel like, again, having your heart shut down, having the inner child energy turned off, having this lightheartedness, turning off your enjoyment energy. That's definitely what I feel like is going on here. So I think group 3, it's important for you guys to think about, okay, how can I let go, lighten up, have a little bit more laughter, a little more fun, a little bit more playfulness in my life. And then again, have this Empress energy of like, this is like creativity. This is like very maternal energy. This is really like mothering. This is like, allowing some of that lightness and some of that flow and some of that beauty and the gentleness and the joy and the laughter to just like be part of your life. So obviously you can, if there's a specific area of your life where you really need to do that, or if it's something that, across the board, it would be helpful for you to do that with. But this is just a reminder that, sometimes we play ourselves when we close our heart and we're like, I have to be very serious, and this is, healing is serious business, and this stuff is serious business. And so again, sometimes it is, but most of us tend to overcorrect a little too far that way, when we can, come a little bit more into alignment with some lightheartedness, some flow, some mothering energy, some creativity, some all of that going on for us. And again, not really just letting creativity and joy and fun and dancing and drawing and playing and letting all of that come through for us can really do wonders for the soul, and let us remember like the enjoyment and beauty of life, instead of just like, life is so serious and I have to make it so serious, or else you want to focus on that. Okay, I'm going to pick some oracle cards for you. Okay, the guardian angel of maturity is, I take responsibility, I also develop my strength. So I feel like this is just a good reminder that you can be mature and still be lighthearted. You can be mature and still have this enjoyment energy. So as I take responsibility, I also develop my strength. That's amazing. And that doesn't mean, sometimes we're afraid to be responsible for ourselves, or be responsible in our lives, or like do these grown-up things, these adult things, and it's like, oh, then I'm suddenly becoming a boring grown-up, I'm becoming a boring adult, and I don't want to do that. I don't want that to happen. So I think this card coming out with this reading is just a reminder that you can be mature and still have a lot of fun. You can have strength and maturity and emotional intelligence and personal responsibility, and be accountable, and be lighthearted and fun and playful and thoughtful, and all of that. You can have like, these things can happen together. It doesn't have to be just one or the other, right? There can be this mature energy, and you can be responsible, and you can have enjoyment and fulfillment, and you can make these things you have to do to have your life be fulfilling and responsible and mature. Like you can add some lightheartedness and some enjoyment and some joy to those, instead of just like, this is a boring grown-up adult thing I have to do now, and no more fun ever. Like fun doesn't mean chaos. You can have lighthearted, good energy around things that where you are still responsible for yourself in that way. Nope, thought that one was gonna come out, but it wasn't. So let's get another card. Your life is a canvas. Wow. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. So again, because the Empress is about creativity as well. So part of this enjoyment energy is like, are you letting yourself be creative? It's like, okay, I know I have to clean my house, but can I do it in a fun way, or in like maybe not like a fun way? Okay, maybe it's not fun, but can you add some creativity? Can you show up with like this lighthearted energy? Can you give yourself permission to, you get to decide like how you want to show up. Like you can be an artist, you can have fun. Again, you can decide like, okay, these are these things I have to do, but how I'm going to do them is up to me. Like this is the canvas of my life, and I know I want to show up with like a little bit more lightheartedness, a little bit more fun energy, a little bit more playfulness, a little bit whatever, right? All of that is part of this. And just really embodying that, instead of feeling like, oh, it has to be so serious, and everything has to be so serious. And, this is my serious life, and my serious art, and my serious healing, and my serious job. And, like, again, there are times and places where we do need to have a little bit more serious energy, but you get to be an artist of your own life. And that includes playfulness, right? Playfulness is, I think, very much connected to your ability to be creative. And so expressing yourself. We have whole and complete. So I feel like this is two things I'm getting with this. The first is like, sometimes we feel like we can't have fun or playfulness or lighthearted energy until we feel like, well, once I'm healed, then I can have fun again. But just remember, you are whole and complete right now, and you should give yourself permission to feel loved and cared for and abundant and free, because that is part of this, it's part of the whole spectrum. You're already whole, you're already complete. There's things we need to work through and shift and all of that, but you are already whole and complete as you are. And the other thing I'm hearing with this is, enjoyment and maturity and whatever, those are all part of the complete part of life, right? God gave us all of our emotions and all of these feelings for a reason. We shouldn't overinvest in one of them or get super stuck in any of them, or, think we can have one without the other. Okay, but this is just a reminder that it is important to remember that you can feel whole and complete in all of these feelings, all these emotions, all of these, the ways to do things, there's infinite ways to do something or be on your path, and remembering that all of that is on purpose, and all of it is part of like the greater scale of things, of feeling whole and complete, and of feeling like, you know, this is how you can express yourself in like this very whole and complete way. Okay, I'm going to close with one affirmation for you. I am willing to let love in. Okay, so yeah, I feel like, again, the more safe we feel, the more, you know, enjoyment is part of love, and joy is part of love, and peace is part of love, and creativity is part of love, right? When those things flow, when we feel safe, when we let love in, when we feel safe, when we do all of that, when you're willing to let love in, then those things flow a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm willing to let love in. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 4. So you all picked the card Mistakes. Allow me to know it's okay to make mistakes. Let me always take care of my inner child so they feel loved no matter what. Really good one. I mean, the first thing I'm hearing from this is, of course, beautiful Bob Ross's quote, there's no mistakes, there's just happy accidents, right? And it's like this irony of when you can admit and own a mistake you made, or, you know, a way you messed up or didn't perfectly get it right, that's when you take your power back and you're more free to be like, okay, that was a thing that didn't work, or maybe wasn't the best for me or for whoever involved. And when you own your part in that, that's when you open yourself up to be able to move forward, because you're not trying to push it away or deny it or not own it or not act like, you know, that's something that happened. So, you know, if you're really struggling with forgiving yourself, or, you know, if you've atoned for something, or if you feel like you've owned your part and tried to make amends, this is just a reminder that it's okay to make mistakes, and you can take care of yourself, and you can move into this space of like, you know, you don't have to, nobody's perfect, you know, and every person you think is perfect, that's just because God has like covered up their things that you haven't seen from them. So it's a reminder that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to trust yourself. It's okay to, you know, move forward, as long as you take responsibility for yourself, own your part, apologize, and make amends where you need to. Then what are you going to do? Punish yourself for the rest of your life? Like, no, that's not helping anyone. You know, that's just the ego. It's like, oh, I get to be a martyr. I get to whatever, you know. So it's just a reminder that doing that for your whole life actually helps no one. It just, you know, serves the ego in a way that is not, again, truly helpful for anyone. Okay, I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards for you. Start your reading. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. So I feel like what we're getting here is, you know, maybe something you're starting with this mistakes energy, or something you have an idea, or something you're passionate about, something you want to get involved in. You're just like in the beginning stages of that with this Ace of Wands. And it really feels like, oh, I know I want to make this happen, or this is kind of like my long-term vision, or this is the long-term goal of what I want to have. And so that's like one side. And then these other 2 cards, the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Wands, regardless of your gender, it's just queen energy. You know, this is like very, very advanced emotional intelligence, and this is like very, very advanced passion, and really mastered, and just like, you know, really more mature, developed energy, whereas Ace of Wands is more the beginning. So I feel like there's some fear going on here for you guys in group 4 of like, well, you know, I need to separate this out or do something different, or, you know, I'm worried about making mistakes along the way to go from here to here. And I just want to be very clear with you and just say, anyone you see who is far along, or quote unquote advanced, or whatever, they have made so many mistakes along the way, and that's the only people who move forward. It's people who are willing to make mistakes, people who are willing to learn, people who are willing to be humble enough to be like, I made a mistake, I need help, I'm still learning, I don't have this all figured out yet. Okay, so the only way to go from this Ace of Wands to this Queen of Wands is trial and error, is through practice, is through putting yourself out there, messing up, falling, moving forward, and, you know, continuing to grow with that. And then what I'm also hearing too is like that helps develop this emotional intelligence with the Queen of Cups. So it helps you to develop like the skills and the awareness you have, like what you learn from your mistakes and what you learn along the way. It's not a mistake or it's not a failure. If you learn something, if you became better, if you became closer to God, if you became more loving, more open, more kind to other people, more kind to yourself. Okay. Like, so all of this is part of the process. So I'm really hearing you can't go from here to here without like the emotional intelligence you're going to develop from making these mistakes and moving forward with that. So if you're afraid of, looking stupid or again, making a mistake, or I don't know what to do or whatever, you can ask God for help. You can ask your angels to help you. You can just say like, please show me what to do. Please show me, like, don't focus on like, how do I go from like step 1 to step 100? How do I just do each little step along the way? And how can I do it in a way that feels like loving and resonant and respectful of myself and of everyone involved, and staying in my integrity and doing that. And it's okay if there's trial and error. It's okay if there's mistakes. There are ways to atone and move forward and learn our lessons and grow, because many things that feel like, oh, this has to be this way for Earth, like it doesn't. You can give yourself some space and permission to to let your soul grow, even if the ego doesn't feel like, oh, that I can't believe that happened. But things that are jarring to the ego tend to be very nourishing for the soul and very helpful for the soul. Okay, I'm gonna pick some oracle cards. Guardian angel, creativity, creative energy flows for me the more I choose to express my feelings. So again, I feel like part of making mistakes, if you want to be creative, you're going to make mistakes. Okay, and just remembering that, like this card says, creative energy flows for me, for you, the more I choose to express my feelings. So part of this is just like being in tune with yourself, listening to yourself, like, okay, my guidance is to do this thing over here. Oh, that didn't work. How can I reroute? How can I adjust it? What did I learn from this? What happened? Just remembering like creativity is how you move along the path, and figuring out what works for you as you're moving forward. That's what creativity is. That's how it can show up for you. That's how it can, be part of your life in like this really abundant way. So just remembering like there is a guardian angel of creativity, and there are creative possibilities. There are ways for things to work out or be different or change or whatever, even if you don't see how in this present moment. And that's like really, what we're getting with this card of like, you don't need to, there are creative possibilities and creative solutions, but you only know by trying and by putting yourself out there, and by being willing to make mistakes, being willing to try things out, being willing to see this works for me, this doesn't work for me, all of that. Okay, then let's pick another oracle card for you. Okay, the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts, really beautiful. So I feel like this is just mirroring again. We all have, when you think about when you were a child, or if you know any children or just see children, like they're so willing to try something and mess up and keep going. They don't have the same societal conditioning or like the ego fears or the very real internalized stories that we have as adults. A little kid messes up, or they color something and there's like one line on the page and they're like, here's my beautiful masterpiece, and you're like, I love it, right? Okay, so just really thinking about, you still have this inner child energy inside of you, this innocence, this tenderness, this like, all of us, if we have to quiet the ego enough, and we have to be humble enough to allow that energy to flow through us. But all of us can connect to our inner child in order to be able to trust what it feels like to make mistakes. Remember, it's not the end of the world. No matter how big the mistake is or what it is, it's not the end of the world. Life goes on, things change, we can change, people change. There's a lot of gifts that we get just from from making mistakes, from continuing to keep trying, continuing to show up, continuing to move and change and be different and be better. So just remembering, it is a gift to be able to hold those mistakes and learn from them. Then we have truth be told. So again, just remembering that like the truth of who you are is unchangeable, and like any of these mistakes, any of these things you think you've done that are unforgivable, that are beyond whatever, that are whatever, that's all ego noise. It's all societal programming. That's all whatever. And so truth be told is just a reminder that like the nature of you, your soul essence, can't be changed, no matter, the mistakes you make or don't make, the things you learn or don't learn. So it's a reminder that truth be told, like your soul can move through these things and can be, part of your highest good, even if it, that can't be changed. The truth be told, your soul essence is still going to go on, and there's part of your soul that can keep going on no matter what has happened in physical reality. Okay, I'm going to close with one affirmation for you. Group 4. I open my mind and say yes to life. Very beautiful. So again, I feel like this is just like a good reminder of like, when you say yes to life, when you want to grow, when you want to change, when you want to expand, when you want to get to that next layer of things, you have to be willing to make mistakes. Like that goes hand in hand with opening your mind to get to that whole new layer of your life, that whole new next level, the whole whatever. Like all of that requires you opening your mind and saying yes. And that of course has to come with mistakes, with feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what's going to happen, but just really owning that. And when you open your mind and say yes to life, that's when you get to these whole new layers and these whole new places of like happiness, success, new experiences, right? All of that. So I open my mind and say yes to life. Beautiful. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.